The Vigilance Wing. If you have been anywhere near the Crucible in the past couple of days since the 1.1.4 patch came out, you have no doubt run into the Vigilance Wing, once or twice or thrice, or however you proceed on from that. You may even be using it yourself. And if you aren't, you probably should be. This thing slaps. What's going on, Guardians? TBL here, and today we're back to talk a bit about something special. This isn't quite going to be a review of the Vigilance Wing, but it's going to be tackling a bit of the feedback that's coming from the community towards Bungie right now, and I'm super excited to cover it because it's the same feedback I would say I'm giving as well. Crucible. You guys heard my first impressions in a video, I think I put it up yesterday, talking a bit about Crucible, how it plays and whatnot, and I stand by that. I've had another day to play through. I've had a decent time in there. I'm enjoying moving faster and getting my abilities back faster. It feels really good to be able to pop off 3 golden guns in a basic game of control or supremacy or whatnot. That's about where I feel like super should be in PvP. And the same can really be said for abilities. I think abilities should still come back a little bit faster. Maybe that's something that'll happen with mods down the road. But overall, abilities and movement feel pretty good in PvP right now. And that seems to be the general feedback I'm seeing from the majority of community spawns out there. Everybody's saying they like the movement, they like the ability to get your abilities and super back faster. It's a good first step, but there's still some more work to be done, of course. But by far, the #1 bit of feedback I've been seeing on places like the Bungie forums and on the Destiny the Game subreddit, and even right here on YouTube from you guys, is that time to kill in Crucible is still way too high in a lot of instances. Which makes me happy. That kind of validates some of my feelings, because again, after playing for another day, I mean, the patch has only been out, 2 days now, so we can't make any definitive statements, but I've had 2 days to play it, and I feel like my opinion hasn't changed on PvP. I've enjoyed my time in there for the past day or so, testing out a bunch of new weapons and whatnot, but I do believe time to kill is a bit too high. At least, except for one weapon. And that one weapon is the Vigilance Wing, this exotic Trials of Osiris styled weapon. This pulse rifle right here has seen some major changes that compound with the pulse rifle changes that we got in patch 1.1.4, and it's feeling really good. And I've noticed that sort of trend across Crucible. A lot of people are starting to pick this thing up, and you really should too if you've got it. It's a tough weapon to use, but it is very, very rewarding if you can manage to land your shots. It feels better than a lot of other guns out there in the Crucible right now. Not that a lot of guns feel bad. I'm having a lot of fun trying a bunch of different things. But something about the Vigilance Wing feels like it's just got a little bit of extra oomph, just hits a little bit harder. And let's take a look at why that is. Well, we know the Vigilance Wing's special perk is that it fires a 5-round burst rather than a 4-round burst. And when you take that compounded with the base damage increases to pulse rifles, you see some really interesting statistic changes with the Vigilance Wing. Now, a lot of this information is coming from my boy Mercules904 over on the subreddit. He's the guy who makes the massive weapon breakdown stat sheets. Super helpful whenever you're trying to review or pick gun stats and just anything to do with weapon archetypes and stuff like that. So, if we take a look at the Vigilance Wing before patch 1.1.4, its optimal time to kill, that's 9 crit shots and 3 body shots, was 1.2 seconds. Ooh. 1.2 seconds was the optimal time to kill for this thing. That is super duper slow in comparison to other FPS games outside of Halo and of course Destiny 1. But now, that has been brought down to an optimal time to kill when you land all 10 crit shots from 2 bursts of 0.83 seconds. That is a massive change in damage output. Yeah, it requires that you land 2 perfect bursts, but 0.83 seconds is almost unheard of for most of the primaries in Destiny 2. But something I do find interesting is that optimal time to kill right there of about 0.83 seconds, that's about where the precision tier of hand cannons were in Destiny 1. Imagine that. Stuff like your Ias Luna, your Palindrome. That's around the same time to kill that they had if you landed that perfect 1 crit 2 body shot. Meaning that Vigilance Wing, under perfect circumstances and power output wise, has essentially become a Destiny 1 weapon in Destiny 2. And that might explain why so many people are out there using it. Seriously, give it a shot. It's not the easiest gun to use. It's kind of clunky, kind of got an odd recoil pattern. But when you land that 2 perfect bursts, or even, 1 perfect burst and then half of another perfect burst, and you got to drop a couple of shots from the 3rd burst. It feels super snappy, and it is absolutely out-shooting and out-killing other Guardians out there. And I just find it really interesting that a lot of people are singing the Vigilance Wing's praises now, when essentially its optimal time to kill now matches a weapon from D1. It's almost like that's what a lot of people want for Destiny 2. They kind of want that faster time to kill of around maybe 0.8, 0.85 seconds for some of the harder hitting weapons out there like high impact pulses and hand cannons, and maybe around an average of 0.9 seconds for everything else. That's around where we were in Destiny 1, and I think that would be a good fit, especially with the new movement speed in Destiny 2. And it certainly looks like a lot of people are agreeing with that. Again, I said I was going through a lot of the community spots, the subreddits and whatnot. The number one bit of feedback I keep seeing everywhere is people basically saying, yeah, time to kill with this new movement system. It's only really exemplified the problems with the slow primary damage, so we kind of need a big bump up on primary damage across the board. And that makes me happy to see, because right now, today, this is Thursday, we're going to be getting our first This Week at Bungie post-patch, with kind of Bungie giving their feedback and reactions to our feedback and reactions from update 1.1.4. So right now, this is the perfect time for everybody in one big voice to be saying, hey, we like the stuff you've done, the movement system's great now, it feels super rewarding in PvE, but we still need a bit of a damage increase in PvP. Right now is the time to react and respond, so I hope you Guardians are doing it. I know I am, and I want it focused, since Bungie sometimes has a habit of, I guess we'll say, misinterpreting what we mean when we say lower time to kill, stronger primary damage output in PvP. That's specifically what I'm looking for. And one other thing I would like to really kind of put out there, the Vigilance Wing is definitely very strong right now. It's not the only strong primary. You should try some of the other pulse rifle archetypes, the lightweight tier, stuff like the Time Worn Spire. That's basically become part of my default legendary weapon loadout in PvP. It's so much fun. It shreds people. Last Perdition is really good. A lot of the hand cannons are feeling super duper snappy on both console and PC right now. If you've got that cheesy rare Allegro 34, I think it's called, hand cannon, that thing snaps to targets like crazy. But I like this. This is a good step forward. And while the Vigilance Wing is definitely an outlier right now, it is very hard to get that perfect 0.83 second TTK, but it is possible. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Vigilance Wing moving forward, and I really hope that Bungie doesn't delve into kind of the old bag of habits and start nerfing based off of that. Personally, I think we've taken some really good steps forward with update 1.1.4, but when it comes to weapon power, I think things should be brought up to around the level of the Vigilance Wing, rather than the Vigilance Wing in particular being nerfed back down. Right now, people are saying, hey, this thing is good, it's really strong, it's fun, but it's difficult to use, but also incredibly rewarding when you can actually land those shots. I know it's super frustrating whenever you go into Crucible and everybody's using the same gun, but the reason they're using it is because it's the only gun that provides that same sort of power fantasy, that same sort of PvP power output primary-wise as what we had in Destiny 1. And I think that's a very important note for Bungie to see. So hopefully they don't go into the old habits and nerf it down into the ground. I think we've taken some good steps forward, and this could truly mark the start of Destiny 2 coming back. Can't wait to see what's going to be coming in the future. But alright Guardians, that is all I've got for you in this one. Again, if you're frustrated by the Vigilance Wing right now, go whip it out and give it a shot. Hopefully you've picked it up in the time Xur has sold it, or gotten it from an engram or something, because it's super good if you can land your shots. It's not easy, but it's definitely worthwhile when you get it. But anyways, be sure to leave me your thoughts and whatnot down in the comment section below. What changes would you make to PvP right now? And do you think primary weapon damage output needs to be bumped up? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news and information we're putting out. We've got the TWAB coming out later today, so I will make a video covering whatever we learn in that probably later tonight. Alright, I'm out for now. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I am TheBlackLink. You Guardians, stay frosty.